Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Noble from Token Metrics with an afternoon news bulletin. What is happening in crypto? Green across the board. No one's arguing, but I think context is key here. All right. So starting with the first point, we think that this rally was fueled by demand for alternative money coming out of the Middle East. Okay. Why do we think this? Before this rally started, we had Dash and Zcash in our top 5 rated currencies. And we noticed that there was a day when Bitcoin was down a little, okay? But Dash and Zcash had already taken off and were up like 5% that day. And then Dash and Zcash proceeded to explode. Now, for me, when I think Dash and Zcash, I think about the currencies used in places like Venezuela, where people wanted alternative forms of money, perhaps something that they could mine themselves, things that they could use for food and necessities. Okay. So when I saw Dash take off, I was like, wow, this is really it. Okay. And I think this has created a chain reaction. So Dash and Zcash take off. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, with Litecoin as the leader, all take off. Okay. Institutions started getting involved using the options market, which started this week. Okay. And then the Bitcoin Cash news, as complicated as it is, the bottom line was Bitcoin Cash went up a lot. It invalidated a lot of bearish patterns here. It invalidated, in fact, 2 of them, right? So what looked like the end of the world in Bitcoin Cash actually turned into a monster rally. And believe it or not, even though it's a little overbaked, it could theoretically continue. Okay. So if the people of the Middle East want Dash and Zcash, that's going to create a FOMO environment for institutions where they're going to have to start getting involved in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. There were big sellers in these items per a group named Chainalysis, related to some sort of Ponzi scam in China from last year. And it's pretty clear with Ethereum up 15% in one day that they're done selling. Okay. So I call that the basketball underwater effect. If you take an inflated basketball and push it underneath the water in a pool and then let go, the basketball not only pops to the surface, but pops above the surface. And I think that crypto is being held down by all these sort of forced sellers. And now that the forced sellers may be gone, now that demand for alternative money is real, the central banks may have put so much money in the system with the shooting in Iran that money may be flooding over into crypto. And of course, there's always the alternative classic that people may be looking at the hyperinflated stock market and going, A, this is not the place for returns, and B, I don't necessarily believe this anymore. And I think when this year started, people were sort of the mind, well, the stock market has to correct and we have to go into a recession. And I don't think many people were expecting Dash to go from 40 to 130 or for Bitcoin to just basically go up every day, which is okay with me, and I'm sure it's okay with you. But I think we're in the middle of a perfect bullish storm, okay? If you look at Zcash, Zcash and Dash are both following these diagonal line structures. They're called fib speed resistance lines. So in Zcash, the next big level is 58. And one of the reasons why I'm going to show this chart is like, okay, you look at this and, Zcash doubles, right? And you're like, okay, well, maybe I can't participate. Well, if you look at the whole history of Zcash, Zcash was at 120 in July of last year. Okay. And in May of 2018, Zcash was at 380. All right. So if there's all of a sudden a use case for all these different currencies, okay, Litecoin being one of them, again, reacting very well off a diagonal structure. If there's a use case for all of these alternative forms of money or blockchains that can be used to move money, which I think is an underrated theme in the crypto industry, if the Middle East has to move money around, demand for these type of currencies can go up just as a money movement mechanism. So money movement, new currencies in the Middle East, institutional demand, the Fed pumping money into the markets, all of this combined with the fact that I don't think anybody expected this creates a perfect bullish storm. So that's our view for this week. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.